So in 2023, I started to master deep learning in my career break, and I started from scratch. So for this entire year, I did a lot of courses, and I'm just summarizing everything I did. And you can find the same resources if you want to follow a similar path. So what I did is, you see, deep learning is made up of two major domains: computer vision and natural language processing. So one for images, video processing, video gaming, or search, everything Google, ChatGPT, OpenAI, they're all doing. So out of these two possible paths, I chose computer vision first because compared to word, images are easier to understand because we can see cat, whereas for a word, cat, its meaning is encoded in the network as just numerical vectors, and we can't understand these numbers, whereas images we can. So I chose computer vision first because of that, and that property allows us to look into the black box of the neural network and actually do debugging, a lot better debugging. So let's say we are doing cat classification. We can ask the network to tell us, where exactly are you looking to predict this cat as cat? And let's say if that query returns, I'm actually looking at just the tail part. So we know the neural network is wrong. So this is just one way of debugging the network. We could do anything. We can check internal representations of whatever thing we are trying to predict. So our domain knowledge actually helps us. We can look into the neural network and steer it wherever we want. So it's very good for understanding the neural networks better. So between vision and NLP, that's why I chose vision. And even in vision, I chose image classification because it's one of the easiest problem of computer vision. Okay, so if you want to check, you can check. You see, it's like image classification, then it will just take a image as is and it will tell us what is present in that image. That's it. Nothing beyond that. Okay. So whereas you see here, these are a lot more complicated tasks. It is task of intelligence only, but more and more and more complex. So classification being simplest, I chose that because I wanted to, learn deep learning first. You see, the thing about, mastering deep learning, if you're also want to follow in my path, then if your learning slope is very steep, you are directly jumping into the network. You are starting with NLP, which is harder to visualize and understand. You're starting with, let's say, image generation, because that's a lot more fancier thing. So you're learning deep learning and also trying to solve a lot more complicated problem. And then learning will become either so difficult, which will require so much effort. If you're able to put it, you will succeed in one shot. But just like if you want to go on a mountain, the direct path is so steep that it is actually impossible. But if you take a circuitous path, the slope is manageable. It takes a longer distance and time to go around the mountain, but we can complete the journey. Generally, steep learning curve leads to complete abandonment. That's what I've seen in my experience of 7 8 years. Okay, this is the most common problem. So computer vision, because easier to understand, because it is easier to understand, it becomes easier to learn. Then image classification, because simplest problem. First learn the simplest thing and learn everything which you can from that, and then you learn a lot more complicated problems. So these were the two kind of like things I did this year. And with that, I did a lot of PyTorch experimentation. I started doing that in May. Until that, I was focusing a lot more on theory. You can actually see in my GitHub profile also public activity. Here, I was doing the neural network implementation from scratch. So Andrew Ng, the way he does it, in NumPy, you implement it from scratch. But from here, I started using PyTorch. There was a lot of experimentation. This builds a lot more intuitive and hands-on knowledge. There is no point in having theoretical knowledge in deep learning because it is a complete hands-on subject. So that's what I did. And the result of this entire experience was, searching on internet, learn deep learning, all the resources, and found so many resources. The most common problem here is there are very few good resources, and most of resources are bad. Okay, this is actually not making the point I wanted to make. Many good resources, few good resources, very few great resources, and most bad resources. Okay, this would be the proper phrasing. Most of the resources are bad. Okay, bad quality. You will spend your time, but it won't be worth the investment you did. You might be better served if you learn from a very few but high quality resources. And if you kind of like spend into that, then your knowledge will actually take a shape which is a lot higher quality. So all of the resources I had compiled here in a link which you can just check from my GitHub repository. Okay, it will this is the GitHub repository on my account, and then if you click here, you will go into the Notion page, and here whatever the good quality resources I could find, I have made a list of them and I keep adding all of them here. Okay, so more than 44. These are all good or great resources. I haven't added, so many blogs and thing, because again, there is no point in spending so much time learning this low quality resources. It's better spend that time on mastering the fundamentals. Okay. So that's the thing I started with. So shortlisting. And after shortlisting, another thing I discovered is most of the courses are from just single point of view. The single point of view of data science. Okay. And for that, which is, let's say, for example, let's take two courses. This deep learning specialization by Andrew Ng. It is also a Stanford course. This is very popular course. Okay. But the person who teaches and who has written this course is a data scientist. So everything in this course is from that POV. And it also limits you into just that single point of view. Okay. And it is not a deep learning. You will be stuck with the same issues everyone else will get stuck with. So you are not actually valuable. If you everyone has the same strengths and weaknesses, then what's the point? Everyone is replaceable with each other. Deep learning is not a single point of view field. You need multiple point of views. So to have your knowledge which is diverse, which can help you find solutions in no matter the kind of problem, you need different POVs. And then from that, you kind of like should compile some courses. So after making the list of all of these courses, okay, there are a few courses which are actually from a different point of view. So from out of all of these courses which we have here, okay, just a second. Out of all of these courses we have here, most of them are from data science perspective, but there are a few courses which are from neuroscientist perspective. So this deep understanding of neural network is from neuroscience perspective. So let me just add it here. Uh, where is this? POV. This POV is from vision. Okay. Deep understanding, this POV is from neuroscience. Then we have another thing POV, which is maths. Okay, so these few courses, okay, their instructors come from a different POV than the rest. Okay, someone who is specializing in image, you will find a lot more interesting things from that point of view. Someone who is specialized in, let's say, sciences, okay, their point of view, the problems they work on, and how they look at the world is completely different from how programmers look at the world. Is completely different from how data scientists look at the world. And mostly these scientists, their understanding of the world is actually a lot more intuitive. So it translates into their courses. So this course, Deep Understanding of Neural Networks by Mike X. Cohen, it's one of the very good courses. Okay. It's one of the very good courses. It will kind of like help you understanding these things a lot better. So I did all of those courses, which which met these criterias. They should be high quality, they should be from different POVs, and they should help in understanding. So, which will include things from visualization perspective. So, from all of these POVs, these were the courses which met that criteria. Okay. Fast AI course. This course had that problem wherein the learning curve was too steep. I did that course in the beginning, so I couldn't complete, so I completely abandoned it. So then I started doing deep learning CS 230. It was also complex. I spent a lot of time. It was a very slow progress again because of a steep learning curve. But if I had went to a shallower learning curve, I would have learned a lot faster. So after spending a lot of time here, then I went to Kaggle Learn courses, and these courses are actually very easy and quick. It gave me an idea and instinct for what data science is very quickly. And then when I went to these courses, I was able to do them a lot better. So, very good courses. These two courses are very high quality courses, but they are kind of like steep in their learning curve requirement. So, you should go to some simpler courses, go to some courses which focus on visualization. So, Kaggle Learn, this deep understanding of deep learning with Mike Cohen, Neural networks from scratch by Syntax, neural networks via visualization by 3 Blue, 1 Brown. These courses are actually very important. They focus on the visualization aspect, understanding aspect of neural network, and then you can go into other courses. So I went through these 10 courses, took a year, lots of to and fro, lots of difficulties. It was quite hard, and still not 100% of all of them, but now I have a lot better idea and I can actually apply that knowledge into real life problems on Kaggle. So this is what I did the entire year. Did these courses, 60-70% I'm there, and some few more months, and I think I should be able to reach 80% or 100% in most of these, and also my knowledge of deep learning. So it took me 1 year. Okay, it took me 1 year. I wanted to master it completely. I reached at 60-70%. So I haven't fully mastered it, but I know how to reach there. And now I'm just gonna go there, do more hands-on now. And this 2024, I'm gonna focus on the second half of this, after learning what happens, application of this knowledge, and master remaining things by focusing on Kaggle competition and applying the knowledge, and slowly keep mastering things as and when it required. So this was my year of mastering deep learning in a career break I took in last year.